Let's be honest, nobody wants to take the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB, more than once. You've got plans. You're ready to enlist, start training, and begin your military career. The last thing you need is a test slowing you down. But here's the thing, the ASVAB isn't just any test. It's the one that decides what jobs you qualify for, and even whether you can even enlist at all. Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel by Study.com. My name is Matt, and I'm a U.S. Army vet and an ASVAB test prep expert. Today, I'm going to show you how to pass the ASVAB the first time with confidence, even if it's been years since you've done long division or sat through a science class. This is your roadmap to getting the score you need and starting the career that you want. Let's start with what this test actually is. The ASVAB is a multiple choice test used to determine your qualifications for enlistment and what kind of jobs you might be eligible for in the military. It covers a bunch of subjects: word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, arithmetic reasoning, math knowledge, general science, electronics, mechanics, auto and shop information, and more. Now, not every section counts towards your overall enlistment score. What really matters for getting you in is the Armed Forces Qualifying Test, or the AFQT score. That score is based on just 4 areas: arithmetic reasoning, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and math knowledge. The minimum score to enlist depends on the branch. Generally speaking, this is the way it works. A high school diploma or GED is typically required to qualify for the military. The required score can vary based on which credential you have. If you've earned a GED instead of a high school diploma, you'll need to have at least a minimum AFQT score of 50. If you have a high school diploma, you'll need a minimum score of 31 for the Air Force, Army, Marines, and Navy. The Coast Guard requires a minimum score of 32. But your performance on other sections matters too, especially if you want to access higher paying or more specialized jobs. So when we say pass the ASVAB, we're really talking about hitting that qualifying score on the AFQT while also doing well enough across the board to keep your job options wide open. Here's the thing, your ASVAB score doesn't just decide whether or not you can get in, it can shape your entire military career. A higher score means more job choices, better training opportunities, and often better bonuses and advancement down the line. And let's be honest, nobody joins the military just to scrape by. You want to serve, but you also want a career that you can be proud of. And that starts with really nailing the test. Also, if you don't pass the ASVAB or don't get the score that you need, you'll have to wait before you can take it again. And every delay pushes back your enlistment, your shipping out date, your training, your paycheck, all of it. That's why passing the test the first time matters. It saves you time, builds confidence, and gets you on your path faster. Let's talk about some things that you might not hear when people give ASVAB advice. First off, not all prep is good prep. You might find random practice questions online or old study books lying around, but if the material isn't aligned with the current version of the test, you're wasting your time. You need study tools that reflect the real content and the real structure of today's ASVAB. That's where Study.com's ASVAB test prep course really helps. It gives you targeted lessons, accurate practice questions, and a step-by-step study plan that actually makes sense. Second, time management is huge. The ASVAB is a timed test, and each section gives you enough time to answer if you stay focused. If you panic or overthink or spend too much time on one question, though, you're going to fall behind. So part of passing the ASVAB the first time is learning how to take the test, not just what's on it. Practicing under timed conditions is one of the best things you can do to build confidence. And third, let's talk about test anxiety. It's way more common than people admit, especially for something as high stakes as this. If you're feeling nervous, that's completely normal. The trick is to train your brain ahead of time so that test day doesn't throw you off. That means creating a consistent study routine, reviewing the material in short daily chunks, and simulating test day pressure. When you've done the work and seen the progress, you can walk in knowing that you've got this. Here's what you should do right now if you're serious about passing the ASVAB the very first time. Start by taking a diagnostic test. You've got to know where you're at before you can figure out where you're going. This will show you your strengths and weaknesses so you can focus your time on what actually needs improvement. Then build a study plan that fits your schedule. You don't need to spend hours and hours every night, but you do need to be consistent. Even 30 minutes a day can make a huge difference if you're working through the right material. Focus especially on the 4 areas that count towards your AFQT score. That's your ticket into the military. Word knowledge and paragraph comprehension are about reading skills and vocabulary, so build those with flashcards and practice passages. Arithmetic reasoning and math knowledge can take a little bit more time, but if you break down the concepts and practice step by step, you'll get there way faster than you think. As you study, check your progress. Take full-length practice tests every week or 2 to see how you're doing. Time yourself. Simulate real testing conditions. This way, you'll build not only content knowledge, but also get used to the pacing and pressure of the real exam. And use high-quality tools like Study.com. It takes the guesswork out of studying, and it makes it easy to stay motivated. That way, you're studying smarter and not harder. The ASVAB can feel like a big challenge. It's long, it's timed, and it covers a lot of different subjects. But here's the truth. You can absolutely pass it the first time if you study smart. That means knowing how the test works, focusing your prep on areas that matter most, and practicing the right way with reliable sources. And look, passing the ASVAB isn't just about getting into the military. It's about launching a career, gaining new skills, and opening up opportunities that can change your life. This is your shot, and it starts with the work that you do today. So if you're ready to take that next step, head over to study.com. You'll find everything you need to prep with confidence, pass the test, and get on your path to your future. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment with any questions or topics you want for us to cover in the future, and don't forget to subscribe for more U.S. military test prep content. I'll see you in the next video. You've got this.